he has come up with this brand new, let's say he's come up with slides and all different things to help us articulate our value to our clients. Like we are being forced now to become experts in scripts and dialogues, which is good. So, we need to be able to articulate value to our clients. When that means that you should have an elevator pitch, like why use you? That's what you guys need to be ready to answer immediately. Why should I use you as an agent? Right. So when you're talking to a seller, it's not about your marketing. A seller cares about how you're going to bring them offers. What are you going to do to bring them offers, right? When you're talking to a buyer, the conversation should be about what you're going to do to show them property that they want. So it's about assessing their needs. That's what you're articulating, is what you do to get them into a property. A buyer wants to buy and a seller wants to sell. So a seller cares about how you're going to market. It's not really about marketing. It's about how you're going to get offers, right? So it's just, this is what I do to get offers. This is what I do to get offers. This is what I do to get offers. So now they have put together a slide deck. So if you go to agent.kw.com and log into Command, if you click on the Connect button, there's a delay here. Oh well. So if you click on Connect and search for the word value, then that will take you to this screen. And then you'll
shared it by email a few times too.
Yeah, you'll want to scroll down here and you're going to find slides. Here's a slide deck. How to articulate value to your clients. These slides you should incorporate into you should first of all really read through them, but you want to incorporate some of those slides into your listing presentation. Michael Rosales and I are going to be putting together a cover letter for our buyer representation agreements. So, we're all going to have to use buyer representation agreements. And there's going to be a cover letter there, basically just really brief and just explaining to our buyers, what they're signing and why it needs to be signed. So it'll just be brief and
Are there also videos of like values, like how we can store value on the website?
So I don't know if any of these are recorded. Let me see. I know that more classes are coming up. Downloadable course files. Teach, find the value instructor, slide deck, value squared course report. Yeah, here, 2 hours and 54 minutes. So 3 hours. You can get this one and read it. Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. That's for you guys.
How can I sign into Telegram site because I don't have ID and password? I'm a student, so should I have an ID and password for that?
You have to join the office in order to have. You have to join a Keller Williams office in order to have that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I can do it right now because I'm
You
later.
have to first.
Okay, got it.
First join. When you say you're a student, what does that mean?
I just started taking the course online and in class in person.
Get your license.
To get my license. I don't have a
Okay.
license yet.
Okay, so.
It's the right class, by the way.
No, so we don't teach here in this office. The license training.
Oh,
This is after you get your license.
got it. Yeah, because
Are you coming to the night classes here?
I can attend it. I checked it. It was 10 to 12. That's why I'm confused. So I should come to the 9 class.
Different company though. So at night, we have a company that rents our office basically to teach the license training.
So I should come at 9 then?
I mean, that's the company that you signed up with. Did you sign up with
I believe so. It's
California Realty?
Isn't it?
California Realty Training?
Yeah.
So it's here at night.
At 9. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I studied with them.
It is? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
They're really good.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, you pass one down to them.
Oh, sure. There you go.
Here. Machine.
Hopefully it's working. Alright. Um. The market right now, did anyone do an open house yesterday?
It's a several.
You went to several, okay, so,
Went to.
yeah, no. But yes, okay.
I'm waiting for my son.
That look, I love it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So, right now, the market this is the time. Like, right now is the time. We are started in May, right? Kids are starting to graduate now. And there are parents that are now looking to maybe move schools, right, move into a different school district. If you go into the MLS, I just want to show you real quick before I get into the class. So if I log in, this is something that you guys can do with your sellers. When I'm on a listing presentation, I'm going over stats with my seller. There is something here, right here, the neighborhood snapshot. So let's just look at this. This is Beverly Hills, Westwood, West Hollywood. And I'm gonna do single family. Let's do a 3-year report, run report. All right. These stats that are coming up here are showing, like let's see, sale price. So what are the highs on the graphs as far as sale price? So here, this is October, this is February. Here's November. This is interesting. August, July, June, April. So this is interesting that there was a lag here in June 22. Let's see. May, June. See, this is what's normal. So property goes on the market in April and May, which means it's going to have a 30-day, 45, 60-day escrow, and it's going to sell in June or July. This is what's normal. It's coming on the market now, and you have an upswing. So the best time to come on the market is April, I would say, because it's going to take a little while to get into escrow. Property has to get marketed, it's going to go into escrow, and then it's going to close here. So that makes sense. Let's just go back to 2021. It's weird. Came on April and May. See, this is showing me that properties were selling a little later in the summer, but August, I mean, when you start getting close to Memorial Day is when things start to slow down. But these sales here that happened in August, they went into escrow in June and July. Right? So it's just, that's the normal cycle, is like right now. Actually, I'm looking at sale prices. Let's look at closed sales, the amount of closed sales. So June, the highest amount of closed sales, June. Here's August, so that's June. So June and August seem to be when the highest sales are per year. Let's look over here, June and July. September. So right now is the time. And this is the point I'm trying to get at. You really want to try to take advantage of right now to get into escrow on something. Taking your buyers out. If anybody's considering selling, you know, right now, I would be saying to a seller, this is the time that you want to come on the market. So as a listing agent, your job is to get the property photo ready, to help the seller get the property photo ready so you can start your marketing. Right? That's what it's all about, getting my photographer in there and getting photos of the property. So, okay. Any questions on that? Like this is something a lot of agents do not do with their listing presentation, is do market stats. So just from the MLS homepage, go to the neighborhood snapshot and do market stats on the area. You can search by zip code, by area. It's important for that a seller knows what's going on, not just comps, but in general in the area. Log in here to W.
Prime.kw.
No, that's for me. I mean,
Oh.
Google.com. That's for me, because I'm logging into my KW.
Uh-oh, what would we,
You would, so if you wanted to access what I'm good, the slot, because I'm getting Ignite. So Ignite is 20 courses. And it's taught in every Keller Williams in the world. Ignite is for agents that are new and also new to KW. So if you guys wanted to, you could go into Command and search for Ignite. And you can get all of the Ignite materials here in Connect. So if you just wanted to devote yourself like full-time, start with Ignite number 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4 on at your own pace, you can definitely do that.
see the numbers?
When you go into Ignite, when you click on it, you can go, you don't have to purchase the course materials, they're all downloadable. So over here on the, let's see. Source videos, participant materials. So here's the student manual.
Oh, it's on the bottom.
You could download that student manual and have all 20 student manuals. Okay. And then you can start with number 1 and just start filling them out. Number 1. So today we're going to teach number 17, and that's out of 20. Okay. But you know, all our materials are here. Just search Connect for Ignite. I downloaded all those course materials into my Google Drive.
Videos for Ignite in there? Are they usually?
Videos from agents all over Keller Williams teaching, yeah.
Okay.
You just need to search for Ignite session 17 and see who's uploaded their class.
Thank you.
Session 17. Hi. Session 17. So we are making and receiving offers. Let's see what Gary Keller say about making offers. So who wants to write an offer? So this is making and receiving offers. Let's see what we can learn today. So basically, I'm going to take my clients out to see property, right? Every property that I show them, I'm going to say, do you like it? Do you want to write an offer? You know, every property has a price. Doesn't matter what they're looking at, everything has a price. But I'm going to be interviewing my client. This is part of the client needs interview process. Right? What are the must-haves? Right? What are their absolute must-haves? But then again, like you're not gonna find somebody 100% of what they want. There's no such thing as 100%. You can get close, you get 90-something%, right? So the question for my clients is, do you want something completely done, or or would you entertain a fixer? Something that needs a little work, right? Because if they don't want to do any, there are people that don't want to do anything. They want to move in, bring their toothbrush, unpack, and that's it. Okay, then I know that that's what I'm looking for. Like nothing else is gonna work. They're gonna pay extra for that, but they're willing to. And then you have clients that don't mind to do a little work. Then you have clients that maybe don't mind doing a lot more than a little work. Right? So that's ascertaining their needs. But then again, everything has a price. If I'm buying a fixer, the question that I ask is what would this property be worth completely fixed up? If I did the kitchen and the bathrooms and the floors, the lighting, everything fixed up, how much would that value be if I were to put that property on the market today? So let's say I'm looking at a house completely fixed up would be, say, $2.5 million, completely done. You know, how much am I willing to pay for a fixer that needs everything? A house that has been in the same family for 40 years, nothing's been upgraded. But houses similar to the size are selling at 2.5 million. Would I pay 2.1, 2 million, 1.9,
How would you
right?
decide how?
So then I'm gonna maybe ask a contractor or two, what will it cost to completely do a 2,000 foot house? Right, kitchen, bathrooms, everything beautifully, what will that cost? There are some contractors that can use all IKEA. Right, and they can make a beautiful looking house using IKEA. The problem is, when you start to take that stuff apart, it falls apart. Right, so there's different quality of material.
But do you tell the person, let's say someone wants to buy it, like they're like, I want something that I can fix the whole thing, like,
Okay, fine, fine.
will you tell them like, oh, it will cost approximately this?
So they're gonna wanna know from you what it's gonna approximately gonna cost. They're gonna ask and. Say, do you have any contractors that you can ask, right? You know, we can go on Yelp and we can find some contractors. Here's the issue that I'm finding is contractors don't like small jobs.
Hmm.
It's really hard to find a contractor to do a 2,000, they have minimums, like, some, you're gonna call on Yelp, some people there say our minimum is 2,500, like, we don't do anything less than 2,500. But I'm just trying to get things done around the house. But I would say for a kitchen, that can be. A kitchen can be anywhere from 30 to $250,000,
Well,
right? Depending, you can have appliances of $50,000 appliances, right? So what's, you can put Samsung appliances or you can put Wolf, right? Or even higher, like, I don't know, Viking. So that's the question. And then the materials, what kind of cabinets? Or you can go to Contractors Warehouse and buy prefab cabinets. They have cabinets all made. You just measure and you bring them and you drill them into the wall, so. Again, you have to calculate backwards. So if it's worth 2.5 to sell it after all is said and done, and let's say it's gonna cost you $250,000 to do the flip. Now you're at 2.25. Now you also have carrying costs. When you buy the property, you have to pay the mortgage on it while you're redoing it, right? So you could have another, say, $30,000 in carrying costs, I don't know. So you're almost at 300,000 now. You have to account for overage. Like, you budgeted for 250, it might be 325, right? So there are buyers, there are some buyers that would buy that for 2 million to 1. There are more aggressive flippers that might even pay 2 because they have crews and they have a formula. So they already know this is gonna cost, they know exactly to the penny what it's gonna cost them to flip the properties.
but you would give them all those numbers yourself?
I mean, I'm afraid to commit to anything because I don't want them to hold me accountable.
That's what I'm saying.
I really respect flippers because they have guts. Like, nobody knows what the value is gonna be 6 months from now, right? Nobody knows. So they're taking risks. They definitely are, because the market could change up or down. And, you know, there can be an unknown that comes up. When you have a huge crew and a formula, that helps. And also you're spreading your risk out amongst a lot of properties. They're not just buying one. When you're buying one, you have a lot of risk. When you're buying 5 or 6 and constantly have projects going, you're spreading your risk out.
Yesterday I went to one of the open houses, one of the 4 that I went to was at Madera Heights, and it was like 2,000,000, I think, $199,000, but everything needed fixing, so
They were asking 2.2 for a fixer. So then the question is, what,
had fixed one.
if that property was completely done,
Yeah, what would be?
what would it be? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I was thinking they would probably have to spend $500,000.
Okay, so then it's okay, so that they were asking 2.
$2,199,000.
So they're asking 2.2 and you think of $500,000. So that means if someone were to buy it, they'd be in it for 2.7. Are there done properties asking 2.7 or 2.8 or 2.9? Because
But this was.
the person that does the work needs to
Yeah.
get rewarded also.
Yeah,
There has to be some profit in there too.
yeah.
That's what I'm looking at as a buyer.
A swimming pool that was empty and everything needed to be redone.
Okay,
So $500,000 wouldn't be out of the question.
it would not be out of the question. I mean, it's easy to spend money.
I was just.
You know,
Spend money to buy things.
I have one question. If you do an open house and you say, okay, like this garage can become an EDU and they ask you, how much will this cost? Can you just say, I don't know, or should you like have a
Oh.
number in mind?
so there are a lot of there are a lot of people that specialize in just ADUs. So I would go on Yelp and I would search for ADU contractor. And I would look for the highest rated with the most reviews. And then I actually go in and I read the reviews. And I would get three people to come to the property and quote.
And then I would pay for that?
Sometimes they don't charge for that. I would try to find people that don't charge. And if they do charge, just ask the buyer if they're comfortable paying for it. But
When I
I
do,
would try to find people that don't charge.
thank you.
So we're gonna have a little challenge with this TV, I see, because there's some kind of delay.
He had some type of
go?
difficulty with computers here this morning.
This is what was happening.
So I rebooted the computer and I turned
Oh, okay, man.
the power off on the TV.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sure.
You may want to ask Alexander, because he said something was happening this morning, because I couldn't print for a long time.
You couldn't print. So there's something with the network. This
The Wi-Fi is
is a network. issue.
bad.
Yeah, it's it to me.
I mean, it's working right this second, so. So I'm almost 20 years in. I've been in this office 12 years. I'm gonna update these slides now. Sold a lot of property. You know, I'm here to help you guys. I really want you guys to make money. That's the bottom line. The reason that you guys got your real estate license in the first place was to make money. Right? Right? We all want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here to help you do that. And that means, but what I can't control with you guys is how many people you talk to. I have no control over that. All I can tell you is the more people that you talk to and the more real estate conversations you have, the more business you will have. It's up to you to talk to people. You have to. You can't be a secret agent. You need to have business cards, hand them out, have real estate conversations. You need to force yourself to do it. The agents that force themselves to do it are the ones that are making money. It's just as simple as that. You want more, you want to make more money, talk to more people. Right? Anything, that's it. You want, it's the difference between selling 5 homes a year, 50 homes a year, 500 homes a year. You're just talking to more people. There's no magic. It's the same process over and over and over and over. So here's the process that I go through on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 11. Listing process, buyer sale process. I think that's where we're right now. Our next class on Wednesday is going to be escrow, title, lender, mortgage, I believe. Let's check that. So Wednesday is going to be escrow, title, lender. Yes. This is what we're gonna do Wednesday. We're talking about escrow, title, lender, mortgage broker. On Thursday, we're gonna talk about zip form.
What's a zip form?
Zip forms is the platform that we can access our contracts. You can access our contracts online or by downloading the software. So either way, we're gonna be doing that Thursday. I'll show you both. And then on Thursday mornings, I teach out of the MREA book. We're gonna talk about business planning on Thursday. All right, so here we are in Ignite. We're on session 17, making and receiving offers. Let's see what Gary Keller has to say about making offers. This is our Keller Williams belief system. It's called the Y4C2Ts as an acronym. Win-win or no deal. You guys see that? Integrity, always do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. So that's our listen. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all. Success results through people. So this is our belief system. So when we say win-win or no deal, I just want to say like any negotiation has a give and a take. If I'm going to ask for something from a buyer or from a seller, I need to be willing to give something. Every negotiation should have a give and take, something to think about. Integrity, always do the right thing. That means for a seller, it's always trying to get the most money. For a buyer, just try to get them the property. we're gonna talk about writing offers today. For a buyer, your job is not to get your buyer best price. That's not your job for a buyer. Your job for a buyer is to get them the property. If you don't get the property, you got nothing. So your job is to get the property, and your job is to keep the deal together. We are often the calming force. This is a very emotional experience for buyers and sellers. Buying and selling a property is very emotional, even if it's someone that's in real estate, commercial, like we've been doing it forever. It's your own property that you're in, it's emotional.
How do you get the best value for a seller? Like, cause like, you know, some people aren't willing to pay that high of a price. So how do you know what is?
How do you get the most money for a seller? That's our listing presentation. So is that your question? How do you get the most money for a seller? The way to get the most money for a seller is to properly market the property. You want to make sure that property goes on the MLS, first of all, because if they don't want to put the property on the MLS, they're hurting themselves. Your job as an agent is to make sure that every single buyer out there knows the property's for sale. That's number one. If they can't let you know, if they're not willing to let you market their property to the world, they're hurting themselves, and that's not how they get the most money. So the way to get the most money is put the property in the MLS, add an attractive number, have the property as clean as possible, right? And have great photos. And have a good agent like you. Yeah. Commitment in all things, communication. So seek first to understand. So this is when we're talking to our buyers, ascertaining their needs. Sellers, same thing. Like what is it you're trying to accomplish? Okay, as far as this word opportunity, every single listing that I've ever had, I think I've had the word opportunity in my advertising for the listing. I'm always marketing an opportunity. Why should a buyer buy this property? What's the opportunity in this property? I did an open house yesterday on a single family in Westwood. It's completely done property, completely done. But what's the opportunity there? The future opportunity is for someone that wants to put a second story on the house. Right now, it's livable, totally, no problem. But there's opportunity there for anyone in the future that wants to put a second story on the house. So I'm always selling the opportunity. I'm always looking, what's the opportunity here? Why should anyone buy this? Opportunity, that's what we sell, opportunities. Okay, so today's agenda is going over the offer process, preparing the offer, write the offer, present the offer, receive and respond to the offer. Okay, let's check it out. All right, Bo Bennett. So usually all these quotes that are in our Ignite curriculum are from Gary Keller. So let's see, we have something here from Bo Bennett, author and PhD. I like to think of sales as the ability to gracefully persuade, not manipulate, a person or persons into a win-win situation. Interesting. So to gracefully persuade, not manipulate. So when I hear that, I think of guidance. We're helping someone guide them to the right decision, right? So it's about asking questions to make someone realize, just going deep in the question. Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? What's the next step? That's really, it's the guidance part. So not to manipulate someone. Manipulating someone is buy this property because it's going to be worth more in the future. You can't do that, right? Nobody knows, nobody has a crystal ball. But anybody that is renting, you should definitely be trying to get them into a property. Any first-time home buyer, why? Because when you buy, you lock your cost of living, right? If you buy this year, 2024, you have locked your cost of living to 2024. That's why you buy. So someone who's renting, their rent is going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. That makes sense, right? So you want people to, and people have tax advantages. So these are really great points to have with a buyer. Lock your cost of living and you have tax advantages. So the offer process, what's the process? Start with your buyer making an offer. So personally, I will take my buyer to a property. And obviously they're going to look at it. I'm going to send comps to my buyer. Right, here are what similar properties have sold for. This is the asking price on this property. Based upon what I'm showing you that has sold in the area, what do you think this property is worth? Based upon these recent sales, what do you think it's worth? Forget what they're asking. What do you think it's worth? Right? Okay, also, okay, I talked to the listing agent. They have offers, right? So we need to make a strong offer. All right, so here we go. We need to make an offer. Now we've decided on a price. We're gonna make an offer. So what's gonna happen? There's three ways that a seller can respond to the offer. Right? Think about it. You guys are gonna make an offer on a property. There's three things that can happen. The seller can make a counter offer. They can say, here's our counter. We agree to all your terms except A, B, C, and D. They can accept your offer. Everything sounds great. Let's go. Let's open escrow. Or they can just reject it and not even respond. So I would say this is a ping pong game. A buyer makes an offer, it's the seller's turn to paddle back the ball. Seller needs to respond on a seller counter offer.
Is there a time frame?
Yes, so the offer is good for 3 days by 5 p.m.
Okay,
Three calendar days by 5 p.m.
and when they reject your offer, can you?
Reject it, so they could reject it immediately in writing, or they can just not respond at all.
But can you resubmit it
Sure,
with,
100%.
with different?
You can resubmit for sure. Sure, but I like to keep the ball moving. So a good agent will keep the ball moving. So what'll happen is I'll have a listing for say 2 million and someone's gonna write an offer for 1.5. And my seller will say, that's a joke. I'm not responding to that low offer. They can come back with a higher offer. I'm not even responding to it. It's insulting.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm gonna say to my seller, look, they took the time to fill out the offer. There's a lot of terms on here besides the price. Let's just give them the courtesy of a counter offer, even if we come back at full asking. Let's just change the terms that you don't agree to besides the price. We'll put those in a counter offer and we'll leave the asking price the same. Because I'm just hitting the ball back. Right? So that's it. I just want to keep that ball moving back and forth. A good agent will do that. And you guys will be in escrows with agents that will keep the ball moving. So I just want, you know, I've had 20 counter offers go back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that means offer. Seller counter 1, buyer counter 1, seller counter 2, buyer counter 2, seller counter 3, buyer counter 3, up to 10. So I've had 20 back and forths.
How long was that day? Like,
Over how long a period? So you don't want to let things cool down. You want to keep it hot.
Right.
Buyers cool down. Right? You have a hot buyer, they're all excited, and you wait, your seller wants to wait to see if any higher offers come in. That buyer will cool off. Did I make the right decision? Maybe I'm not so eager now. You know, you want to keep a hot buyer, you want to keep them in the game. Okay, so those are the three things that can happen when you make an offer. Either it gets accepted, it gets countered, or it gets rejected. So this is a negotiation. Once your offer is accepted, then we begin contract to close. If it's rejected, the buyer agent contacts the listing to learn more. Don't assume no means no. So if I write an offer and I don't get any response, I'm gonna call the listing agent and say, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you responding to my offer? It's your turn. Please respond. Please respond.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. All right, preparing the offer. So sure, the property is still available. It's funny because I'll put a property into the MLS and I'll get a call 10 minutes later. As soon as it's the MLS, it's the property still available. It's funny to me, like it just hit the MLS. But yeah, that's a good question. Is the property still available? Build rapport with the listing agent. Very important. I need to have the listing agent like me. I want the listing agent to know that when they're in a deal with me, I'm not going to play games. I'm in it to win it. I want to get my buyer through the process and to close. Right? For me as a listing agent, it's very important that the buyer that the seller selects to be an escrow with doesn't play games. I want to know that they're going to do it. They're going to get this deal done. Inquire about activity. So when you're talking to the listing agent, my suggestion to you guys is read the MLS description. Before you call the listing agent, read everything in the description. There's nothing more irritating to a listing agent when you start asking questions that they've already answered. So read the description. Like some listings will say, no showings until May 25th. Right? No showings until May 25th. So if my buyer is like really dying to see the property, I'll call the listing agent and I'll say, I see in your listing, it says no showings until May 25th. My buyer really wants this property. Is there any way to get them in there later? That's a lot different phone call than, hi, this is JJ, can I get my buyer in today? Right? Because the agent, right? If you show the agent that you took the time to read it and you're still calling, but you acknowledged it, it just makes a big difference. So I'm building rapport. Inquire about activity. How, do you have any offers? Where are they at? I don't know if the agent's gonna answer you, but you have to ask. Inquire about their offers on the property. Did they fall? Why did they fall through? So if you see a property that's been on the market for a while or back on market, ask why. You know, what happened? Ask questions about the seller motivations and needs. So before I write an offer, when I call the listing agent, I'm asking, you know, what is the seller looking for besides price? Do they want a short escrow? Are they looking for a longer escrow? You know, what's the story? You know, what else are they looking for? Right? Ask the listing agent how they want to receive the offer. Should I email it to you? Should I email it to your property, to your office manager? You know, some agents want all the offers to be submitted blind to the office manager. So ask them how they're receiving offers.
Why would they want a short or long escrow?
So if I have a vacant property, my seller wants a fast escrow. That's really important to them. Like they'll even maybe take 20,000 less if you can close in a week. That's the most important thing to my seller is a short escrow. Because otherwise they're gonna have to pay another month mortgage, and right, another month of this and another month that. So it's for my seller, it's really important to have a short escrow. But you might get a different answer, like every time you might get a different answer. So that you need to ask the agent, what's the motivation here?
And if someone comes to see a property and they ask you, has there been any offers yet? You have to tell them that there hasn't been.
But it's how you phrase it.
How would,
So if you come into my listing and I've been on the market 2 weeks and I don't have any offers and you go, JJ, hey, do you have any offers? I say, I don't have anything in writing yet, but there are people circling. I've been promised and some are coming in. I don't have anything in my hand yet. I would suggest you put something in and beat them to it,
okay.
right? You want to keep urgency.
What if it's the same day? What if like today, the property, you know, like yesterday was the first time that we showed the property and the person asked, do you have any offers yet? What would you say? Are you saying there's people that are interested? What would you say?
If what? If
If today the property,
property just came on the market,
yeah, no, like today I just showed the property.
okay,
It's the first time that, you know, we've shown it.
Okay.
What would you say to someone that said, you know, has there been any offers yet?
there haven't been any offers yet in writing. I have people that are circling.
Okay.
I would suggest you get a strong offer in right away and I'll present it to the seller.
Perfect, thank you.
That's a lot different than, no, nothing yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If I'm like, oh, no, nothing yet,
Yeah, it doesn't make.
that means come in low,
Mhm.
right? And I don't want that, I don't want to portray that, because then I'm really hurting myself.
Mhm.
So, you know, these are things that I'm gonna, on a listing appointment, are really important for me to convey to a seller, is how the agent responds to other agents that are calling about the property. It's really important. Not all agents are the same. Right? That's what you need to convey when you're talking to a seller. Not all agents are the same.
Do
It's
we,
the same commission being paid, right? But what you get is a lot different. And you need to hire someone like me who knows how to respond to agents when they ask, what will it take to get this property? I know my seller will take at least asking. Right? Because someone who's asking what will it take is looking for a lower price,
Mhm.
right? All right. Obtain the buyer's pre-approval from lender, yes. So whenever someone comes to my office and says, JJ, I want to write an offer. I say to them, great. Do you have a pre-approval letter and do you have proof of funds? We need those to submit with your offer. I'm not going to do anything until you have that. Because the lender needs to first qualify the buyer. And right, we need to make sure like how much down payment there is, because I want the offer to be structured how it's actually going to happen. I don't want to start negotiating after the offer comes in. I want the offer to reflect what the buyer's doing. And then maybe I'll even put the listing agent on the phone with the buyer's lender for the lender to sell. Yeah, I can make this loan. I qualified the buyer. This is what I can make this loan happen. So it's really important to have that pre-approval letter. Review the MLS and tax records. I always do that when I'm writing an offer. I'm looking at the listing on the MLS. Tax records, I don't know, public records. Produce a comparative market analysis. So again, I do that. I send my buyer a CMA. This is what similar properties have sold for. Based on this, what do you want to make the offer for? Obtain a seller's disclosure statement and other needed documents. Sometimes your seller will have disclosures. Sometimes in advance, they'll have disclosures. Sometimes not. All right, but I will, when I talk to the listing agent on that initial inquiry, I'm gonna be saying to the listing agent, how's the activity? Do you have offers in hand? How should I send my offer? Is there anything I need to know other than what's in the MLS? That's when the disclosures come in. Is there anything I should know that's not in the MLS?
Like what? Like, can you give me an example?
Someone dying on the property past 3 years, because that's a disclosure. Any arguments with the neighbors?
How
Right?
would you know if someone died in the property? Can you like look up?
It has to, no, you wouldn't know, but it's
Bad.
transfer disclosure statement. It says, has anyone died in this property in the past 3 years? There's no way to look it up and see.
How do you get the transfer disclosure statement?
The seller has to fill it out. The seller has 7 days to give disclosures to buyer. It's part of the contract.
Okay.
Now, anything that the seller does not disclose, there's always a danger that the buyer is going to find out and sue them for non-disclosure. So, if the buyer is watering their lawn, 30 days after they buy the property, they're outside watering their lawn, and the neighbor comes up and saying, "Oh, I can't believe you bought that property after that murder. How did you? How can you? Doesn't bother you?" They're like, "What murder?" Right. So it's those kind of things that we need to, or there's a plumbing, there's a plumbing issue, and the buyer calls the plumber, and the plumber's like, "Oh, it's a good thing you called me. I've been here 5 or 6 times already to fix this."
But how would you know as the person, the agent?
As the listing agent, I only know what the seller. I only can go by what the seller is.
So like you wouldn't physically ask the seller, has anyone died on this property?
Yeah.
You would,
Yeah, I might.
like when you first get a property listing, you would ask?
Uh,
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do,
yeah.
okay. And then do you ask anything else about plumbing?
Well, I mean, look, if I'm listing the property with someone with a couple in their 30s or their 40s, I don't think anyone's died on the property. And if I'm dealing with children that have inherited a property that are in their 60s or 70s, and they had a parent living there, I'm gonna ask,
Oh, I
did
see,
they die in the property or in the hospital?
okay,
If they died in the property, we're gonna have to disclose.
Okay.
Some people have no problem with it. Some people, usually when I see a disclosure that someone's passed away in the property, they're gonna describe it as died of old age and peaceful. Instead of horrible ailment, right? Yeah, I mean, a young person dying of a horrible disease is a lot different than someone dying of natural death of old age. Right, but different people are gonna just take it differently. Some people don't care. Some people really care. Yeah,
If you're writing an offer for a property that's been on the market for about a year,
yes.
is there a rule of thumb of your offer of writing a low offer of what's too low?
Right, so there's no rule of thumb of anything. Right? Every property is different. Every agent is different.
Okay.
Every seller is different.
Okay.
The question is, how will your offer be received by the seller? So whenever I have some really crazy clients that if you were to give them a lowball offer, they would like, "Whoa, I'm not responding to that." But when they want to write an offer, they're lowballing, right? So I'll take that person. And depending on the situation, like let's say they're a seller, I'll say to them, I understand that you think this is a lowball offer and you don't want to respond to it. Right? If you were going after this property yourself, you would be writing a low offer like this to try and feel things out, right? Don't take such offense to this. Let's respond with our other items that we're countering. We'll respond in full price, whatever. Let's just get let's paddle the ball back.
Maybe call the agent beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know, like, now, I've also had a call from an agent saying to me, I've also written an offer. There was a property I was inquiring on with a listing agent. And I'm like, what's it gonna take to get this deal? He's like, JJ, I'm not wasting any time. This is the number that we need to be at in order to make this deal. My seller is adamant about this price. I don't care if you need to write a low offer and we need to go back 10 times, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. As long as we end up at this number, this is where we need to be. I mean, this is just an agent that he's had his property on the market a while and he's just telling me straight out, like, this is where we need to end up. Whatever you think you have to do with your client to make that happen, let's do that. This is where we need to end up. Otherwise, there's not going to be a sale.
Yeah, explain it to the client.
So again, our job
Yeah.
is to get the property,
So,
not to get our buyer the best price. It's to
Yeah,
get
so-
because look, in time heals all wounds in real estate. Over time, the property is going to appreciate. It might go down, but it's going to go up in the future. That's just, everything goes up over a long time in real estate. Unless there's some kind of waste spill or something,
no.
right? But property appreciate.
You have a class on like how you should talk during a.
Every single class,
So
every single class, I'm sharing with you what I say to buyers and sellers.
I just feel like when you're showing the property, like,
I'm showing a property.
yeah, like walking them through, like yesterday was the first time I did it and I like. Didn't know what to even say. I was looking at them and I was like,
So the times that I'm challenged are when I walk my client into a real dog. When I'm looking at the most horrible properties, like I'm walking through it and I'm like, oh. But, or when something is not your taste, it's hard to get into.
no, it's a beautiful property. I loved it, but I just didn't know, like, I felt intimidated. I was like, what do I say?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should always. I don't know I don't know how, it's a hard thing. Like you have to judge your client when you're with them and how they're, sense their vibes, how they're feeling about the property. But one thing I learned early on when I had a commercial client who had been in real estate his entire life, and I'm a brand new agent helping this person. And I kept my mouth shut a lot because I didn't want to sound stupid or say the wrong thing. And I felt he knows I'm new. And
That's exactly what I'm
who am I to tell him anything about real estate? He's been doing this his whole life. And we were in a negotiation or something. And he said to me, JJ, I need your opinion. You're my real estate agent. I need to hear from you what your opinion is. So it was that moment where I realized that I'm there to help. And if I don't speak up, I might be doing harm. Right? So you have to help your clients. That's why you're there. So if I walk into a house that's leaning, seriously, I walk into a house and it's leaning, I'm gonna point it out to my client. I'm gonna say, this house is leaning, let's keep going. This is not the one for you. Unless they're specifically looking for that and then they're looking for a major fixer. And maybe they have a contractor crew that can easily repair that, right? And that's their opportunity because they can make money on buying something like that. Just depends who the client is and what we're going after. Don't be afraid to speak up. You're there to help them. And when you save a client from a huge potential loss, they'll hopefully love you for that. Okay. Let's get going. Okay, write the offer. Okay, so here's what you guys need to know when you're writing an offer. You need to know who is writing the offer, right? Who's gonna be named on it, right? And then the other information that we need is mostly from the lender. So I'm gonna be asking for a pre-approval letter. And I wanna know from the lender, how long can you close an escrow? Do you need 30 days or can you do this in 21? At Rocket Mortgage, everything is like 21, 21, 21. They can even do less. So I want to know from the lender, how long do you need for escrow? How long do you need for mortgage approval? How long do you need for appraisal? What is the rate on the mortgage? And how much are the points? So those are the things I need to know to write the offer. Okay, so let's see so price and terms. Okay, so price is going to be whatever it is, $2 million. Seller's disclosures, not worried about that for writing an offer unless there's something we need to take into account. Conveyances, not worried about that. Earnest money. Okay, you have this EMD. What is an EMD? It's an earnest money deposit. That's the 3% deposit. So in residential condos and houses, we like to get 3% deposit. So that's called an EMD, earnest money. Due diligence inspection period. How long do you need to investigate this property? So by default, all the contingencies in the contract, contingencies are, what is a contingency? It's an excuse to back out without losing your deposit. So what are the contingencies? There's three: loan, appraisal, and investigation. Those are the three contingencies.
What's an investigation example?
Investigation is everything that you're finding out about the property. It's gonna be hiring inspectors to go in the property and check it out.
Oh, okay.
But it's also gonna be discovery on what's on the title report, what's in the natural hazard report.
What could be on the title report that can be an issue?
The neighbor has the right to sell the property anytime they want.
Oh.
For purposes of driving over it to get to their garage. They have an easement over the driveway
Okay,
to get into their garage. So that's something that would appear on title,
okay.
right? Or no alcohol can be had on these premises. No, you know, so there are some deeds that are given that say you can't, no loud noise after 10 PM and then someone could actually lose their deed because of some kind of restriction on their deed.
Okay,
So it's possible.
thank you.
Okay, so due diligence inspection period, time for seller acceptance. By default, the offer is good for 3 days until 5 PM. By default. If you don't shorten it. Now, if I'm writing an offer on Thursday or Friday, I want to shorten my time period to Saturday night. My offer is going to expire Saturday night. Why? They're going to have an open house on Sunday. And I don't want another buyer coming in and putting the buyer. I want them to respond to me before the open house on Friday. So if I write an offer on Thursday or Friday, I'm going to make my expiration Saturday night. Smart, yes. Okay, I got some of those. Yeah.
Your experience, if there's multiple offers, have you ever done like a 24-hour conditional offer, like for you'll take it away, so they can.
Yeah, that's the expiration. That's
Yeah.
the expiration.
So you can do the 24 hours. They're not gonna rescind you for
Yeah,
it.
so now, that being said, I do look at expiration dates as a courtesy. Okay, it's a courtesy to respond by their requested time. Now, what'll happen if I'm a listing agent and I get an offer on Thursday or Friday and I haven't had my open house yet on Sunday, I tell the buyer that the seller I can't get in touch with the seller until Monday, right? Or something like we want to have that Sunday open house, right? I also want the opportunity to get my own buyer.
Yeah.
What if my own buyer walks in? I have double the commission, right? So I don't want that opportunity to go away either. But the goal is that the seller has to get the most money. Whoever is paying the most money, that's who the buyer is. I'm hoping that I get the buyer that's willing to pay the most money. Right? I'm not just looking for my own buyer. My buyer also has to be the one willing to pay the most money. Right? So. Okay, so let's see. Financing terms that's gonna get from the lender, buyer pre-approval of it. That comes from the lender. Closing date, that might also come from the lender. How fast can the lender do? Home warranty, this is something that you're gonna ask for in your offer. There are 3 companies that we use for home warranties. First American, Fidelity, and Old Republic. What's a home warranty? This covers all the appliances in the property. It covers the electrical. It covers the refrigerator, washer, dryer, solar, maybe. So basically, if your buyer has a home warranty, they can pay a trade call and they'll come and fix it, no matter what it is. Say the stove is broken, $90, $100, they'll come out and they'll fix it. So the seller will normally pay for that warranty for the buyer. We're going to ask the seller in our offer to pay for that. Repair limits, I'm not sure what that is. Special Sorry, credit, yeah, a repair limit. I don't know why we're writing an offer with a repair limit. Usually we don't ask for repairs until after inspection. Thanks. An addendum. So addenda will just be, is this a trust sale? Then we'll have to add a trust addendum. If it's a short sale, we'll add a trust sale, a trust addendum. So there's different things that we'll add specifically to each property if necessary. Okay, talk through the offer. So review the contract, be sure your buyer understands the contract. Review details like price, closing dates. Know what is essential in your area. Know standard or common terms for offers in your area. Avoid rookie agent mistakes. Rookie agent mistake. What would a rookie agent? I don't know. I mean, our offers are really good. If you didn't fill in stuff on the offers, you'd still be okay. Like our offers are pretty good by themselves. Like, but we are gonna have to put like, who's our escrow company? Who's our title company that we're asking for? You might put seller's choice and just leave it up to them. If you just leave the contract alone, it's gonna be 17 days for appraisal, loan, inspections. But we do need to put what our purchase price is. We do need to put our deposit amount and what the loan amount is. All right, everything else. You can pretty much leave the contract. Now, I have a pre-filled in contract that I have on my in my shared folder. That's pre-filled out. You guys can copy that. Use that as a template. But I'm also gonna help you. I'm here to help you with your offers. All right, you come, JJ, I need help with an offer, I need to write an offer. Amazing, let's do it. Rookie mistake. I don't know, I don't think you guys are gonna do any of those. So I'm not really worried about it because I'm here to help you. Okay. Okay, no problem. Presenting the offer. Okay, so now we got our offer signed. Sent it through DocuSign, it's been signed. We have our pre-approval letter and we have proof of funds. What is proof of funds? It's a bank statement with a balance, the buyer's name and the current date. That's what I want to see. It's proof of funds. It has to be current because money can move like that. So it has to be current, it has to show a balance and have my buyer's name. All right, so present the offer checklist, double check all documents, okay, follow instructions. Okay, sometimes the listing agent will have instructions on how to submit an offer. I've seen in property descriptions, all offers must be submitted to this web address. And you actually have to log in and create an account and then upload your documents, like some agents have that. Label all documents clearly. My purchase agreement is gonna say offer or residential purchase agreement. My proof of funds is gonna say proof of funds. My pre-approval letter, it's gonna say pre-approval letter as the file name. Okay. Order documents logically, I don't know, email summary. Yes, in your email, you can say, hello, listing agent. I'm pleased to present the following offer. Purchase price, close of escrow date. All right, this long for appraisal, this long for loan approval, this long for inspection. My buyer is amazingly amazing. Right? Notify the listing agent. Really important. After you press send on your email, you need to call or text the listing agent and say, I just sent you an offer. Did you receive it? Very important. What if your offer went to their junk folder? And you just assume they got it. 2 days go by, 3 days go by, and the property goes into escrow with someone else. And you call the listing agent and you say, how come you didn't even respond to me? They say, what are you talking about? Never got your offer. So as a rule of thumb, whenever I send an offer or a counter offer, I always call the listing agent or the agent on the other side and say, I just sent this to you. Can you please confirm receipt? Did you get it? Or it could be a text message. Very important. Add all documents to command. Okay, consult with your buyer. Okay, this is really important just for communication. Just keep your client in communication. Let them know after every showing, when you're representing a seller, when I finish a showing, I call my seller and let them know how the showing went. After an open house, I call my seller and I tell them we had approximately this many people. You know, I had this many neighbors or this many this, right? So just keep the communication going. Receive and respond. Make sure that offers are completed. So if you're the listing agent receiving an offer, you're going to have to review the offer, right? Make sure it's complete, no missing pages. Confirm receipt of the offer. You're gonna immediately respond to the buyer's agent. Offer received, thank you so much. Okay. Get the offer to the seller in a timely manner. We need to get offers to sellers in a timely manner. This is part of our code of ethics in the National Association of Realtor Code of Ethics. So get offer to the seller in a timely manner. Create an executive summary. So when I send my offers to my seller, my email is, congratulations, we received an offer. An offer is a compliment, right? Even if it's a lowball offer, an offer is a compliment. Someone wrote an offer. So I'm going to say this offer purchase price is this. This is for this many days, and I'm just going to review the terms of the offer. Call the buyer's agent, call the lender to verify the pre-approval letter. If you're calling the lender, I'm not calling Chase or Wells Fargo America. But if I get a pre-approval letter from ABC Loan Servicing, right? I'm gonna call the lender and say, hi, I just received an offer from your client so-and-so. And I want them to respond, oh, yeah. Not who? Right? So I want to make sure they've talked to my client or talked to the buyer's agent's client. And I'm gonna say, did you review their tax return? Like, have they sent you their tax returns? Did you pull their credit? Like, I want to know if this is a phone approval or they've actually reviewed their stuff. Right? Is this a real pre-approval? Because there's pre-qualification and pre-approval. Pre-qualification just means a phone qualification. Pre-approval means they've actually reviewed the document. So I might call the lender to see how confident he is that he can make this loan. Has everything been reviewed? All right. Create an outline document to reference when you call the sellers. So when I'm calling my sellers, I am preparing, there is a document in Zip Forms called offer summary. It's actually multiple offer summary, multiple offers. So I'll use that to compare offers to myself. We'll look at that this week when we do the Zip Forms. Okay, so create an offer in command. There are some parts of the country that they do their stuff in command. Like we do it through Zip Forms and DocuSign. There are some parts of the country that will create their offer in command in DocuSign. So you know when you guys signed up for DocuSign through command, it linked command to DocuSign. That's for agents that actually sent documents through command to get signed. We don't do that. We don't have to worry about that. But we do need to get our contracts into command. That's how we have broker compliance. So in command, we're going to create something called an opportunity, and then we'll just create new opportunity. So that's how it's done. All right, receive, review, and respond. Buyer makes an offer, negotiations. Let's talk about negotiations. All right, so what are the three things that can happen when we write an offer? Be accepted, it can be countered or rejected. Okay. So reach a decision. So counters the offer, accepts the offer, or rejects. If there's a counter, that's negotiation. If there's an acceptance, we're gonna take it, hopefully contract to close. If it's rejected, we need to contact the other agent and find out why. All right, I think that's it for today. That's really it, unless you guys want to do invite.
So, okay, JJ. Someone had a conversation with someone is interested in buying.
I'm talking to a buyer now, a buyer's agent,
Yes. And
talking to a buyer,
yes,
and they have some.
they tell you, yeah, I would like to buy a property. What do you do from there? Like, what is the first?
So just talking to a buyer, I want to buy a property. Why?
Okay,
Like,
okay, let's say they tell you the reasons.
okay, you're good. Okay, so, okay, sounds good.
It's a first time home buyer,
Condo or house?
in a condo,
Condo, okay. What area do you see yourself living in?
probably in downtown
Downtown. Why is that important to you?
because of work
Okay, where do you work?
in like out of state, but I do a lot of things also in downtown when I'm in LA.
Okay, so it's important for you to be close to downtown.
Yes.
Would you consider being 10 minutes away or if you want to?
Okay, so you have this conversation.
I need to get their needs. I need to really, if they only want downtown, then I'm only looking downtown. If they're open to other areas, I'm gonna show them other areas also.
Okay.
So I'm just really trying to find other needs. Have you talked to a lender yet?
Do you go over the package that you gave in the other class, the buyer, the interview
So I do that, but I do that. verbally.
later? Okay, very low.
Verbally.
Okay.
I'm not so structured where I have tons of buyers calling me. That I'm pulling out a sheet for each buyer. I've historically, I've been on the listing side. I'm more concentrated on listings. But just from having listings, I'm getting buyers.
Yeah.
So the buyers that I'm working with are people that have come into my listings. Or people calling me that are friends or referrals that need help. But I'm not getting cold buyers coming, like. So if you are really killing it and you're getting buyer calls all the time. Like then you would have in your drawer a checklist, right? And then you would make an appointment with a buyer. They would actually come to the office and you'd interview them at the office, have them sign a buyer representation agreement. This is how I work.
So first the questions regarding everything, like what they're looking for, and then the buyer's representation, so I can start showing them based on what they told me.
Yeah. So right. So I'm gonna be filling out the buyer representation agreement. So you're looking for properties in this price range. So I'm gonna put a price range in this area, put the area. And I'll say, okay, let's get started. This is how I work. Here's my buyer representation agreement.
Okay.
So this is saying that you're gonna pay X amount of commission. Don't worry, we're gonna ask for this to be paid for by the seller. And if the seller pays for it, you're off the hook. Right? I just want to make sure that you're gonna use me to be your agent. That's really what we're trying to get accomplished here, because I'm gonna put a lot of time and effort into finding a property for you. I just want to know that you're gonna use me as your agent. Is that fair? Sign it. So, and then we're gonna get to work. So thanks for problem. Start looking for problem.
Okay, so those things first. Okay.
So in August, that's gonna be required. We're gonna start, now you only have so much time, right? You have X amount of time in your day. I mean, when you don't have a lot of clients, right? You're working with one person, they have all your attention and you're just hoping that they press something. When you work with a lot of clients, you have the ability to not work with the ones that are wasting your time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it hurts me when I see an agent that is working with one person over and over and over and over and over and over, and they're not working with anyone else at the same time. Because if that one person doesn't buy or sell, they're gonna be in a world of hurt, right? Because you need to always be looking for new ones. That's just what we have to do. So talking to people, most important thing, always. We all know what to do. It's just doing it is the issue.
Yeah.
Or whatever we have to do to push ourselves to actually do it. So. Just, no matter how busy your schedule is, this is why time blocking is so important. You have to make your contacts every day. No matter what's going on in your world, you have to carve out that time to make new contacts and talk to new people. Because you always have to have new stuff going on. Otherwise, you're just hoping that the stuff that you've been working on closes. Once that's closed, you got nothing. You're starting from scratch again. So we have to figure out how to everyday prospect. That's really important. Every agent has to figure out what's my daily activity that is a non-negotiable, has to happen today for new business. That is one thing we all have to figure out what we're doing every day.
For an online account or presentation of yourself, do you put in Keller Williams, but it's not an official thing, right? Or
What
do
do
you-
we want?
If you want to promote yourself online, whatever.
Well, I always have Keller Williams Beverly Hills as my company. I think that's great. I mean, I'm a Beverly Hills agent. So I believe that as a Beverly Hills agent, I can help anyone anywhere and I'm bringing the Beverly Hills brand. So if I am listing a property, if I'm going against a listing agent in any area, I'm the Beverly Hills agent. Right? I'm not that city's agent or that city, I'm Beverly Hills. Right? I think it brings a lot to the table. And for a seller, it makes their property, it attaches the Beverly Hills brand to their property. So I think it's important for a seller.
Do you guys have any online or social media? Like, I don't know.
I'm not heavy in social media myself, but if you are in social, like, I mean, this is, that we have in our daily success, if you're in social media, 10-5-1. So 10 likes, 5 posts, I'm sorry, 10 likes, 5 comments and 1 post. So that's what you should be doing every day as a social media thing, if you're into social media, like that's your thing, 10 likes, 5 comments and 1 post. Social media is huge. I mean, the amount of audience that you're reaching, would cost a fortune in non-social media. Right? Social media allows you to have an audience of millions of people. Billions. Yeah.
You're good
literally.
at it, if you know how to
Yeah, thank you.
handle that system. Yeah, I'm not.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you. Tomorrow's open house day.
What time is,
Tuesday, 11 to 2 everywhere.
so just me here?
Oh, no, it's just
I wanted that was pretty good.
random everywhere.
Ahorita vamos a ver.
Here in the city.
Solo quiero preguntarle.
And in the valley, it's normally Friday. But like if you have a listing in the valley, you would want to do Tuesday 11 to 2 and Friday 11 to 2, because you'll want to get the city agents in and the valley agents in.
And then it's in the front, right?
The Caravan magazine is in the front.
Okay.
That'll show you. That's also if you go here into the MLS on the MLS homepage, if you go to the open house screen here, you can go view today's broker open houses.
Right.
Or even go create your open house. If you click on the create, there's links here for today's open house search. So like I'll do a quick search right now. And I'm looking for residential, single family and condos in area Beverly Hills. For tomorrow. So these are all the open houses in Beverly Hills tomorrow,
Oh, okay.
right? So I went from the home screen, I went create an open house. Like that's a weird place to have it, but create an open house, then I did quick search.
Okay.
And that allowed me to search for what's open tomorrow. So a lot of stuff open tomorrow. A lot.
I saw yesterday, or maybe because now I'm an agent and I pay attention to
Yeah.
these things, gazillion of open house signs.
Right.
Like
Right.
if the world was gonna,
Exactly.
yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ecuador. Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Like 10 minutes. My phone is about to die.
Not sure if you want to for some reason.
Oh, thank goodness.